r/legal advice. Powerful _eb _7937 says. Husband resists divorce out of fear of a financial investigation. I fear he has gotten both of us in trouble. Updated. See end of post. My husband owns land in 2 states. 3 of the properties in California have both of our names listed. He's trying to sell 2 of those properties and today I'm going with him to notarize the sale. He'll then fly to California to collect payment. I'm worried because I don't know all the details and he won't divulge them. I'm also worried that has been dishonest on other tax issues, decisions that I've also not had a say in. He doesn't want a divorce right now because he doesn't want a legal investigation into his business dealings. I do want a divorce. I told him we can separate amicably in the meantime, but within the next year I would like to be divorced if we're not going to work things out. I'm worried about what trouble he could be in and if those troubles will extend to me. Or what debt I could be potentially liable for. We have 2 small children that I want to insulate and protect, along with my assets and my pension. We have been married 5 years. Should I go to a divorce attorney just to find out my options? Are there any better options? I do not know his total accumulated wealth or assets. He does not share that information with me. I do know he has filed taxes jointly since we married, and I have not seen them. I'm very worried about what those entail too. Edit. This morning I told him that I didn't know the entirety of his affairs, and if there was anything shady going on I didn't wanna be a part of it, and he should seriously think about it too because we have children. He cancelled his flight because he was going to make the sale in a different state and we are not going to the notary today. I've called a few different divorce attorneys for a consultation, so I feel like I have time now to figure out what I should do next to protect myself. Thank you for every owns great. Dank_the_enforcer says. You're not going to qualify for innocent spouse relief if you're not, well, innocent. You need to start working with a divorce attorney quickly to get ahead of any potential problems, even if you don't want to file for divorce anytime soon. Powerful _eb _7937 says. Yes, there's nothing wrong with knowing what my options are. He's hid a lot of financial decisions and information from me, so I might not be totally innocent. I'm also likely 70% in the dark. I ask him if there's anything he hasn't shared with me, and he just gives me the deer in the headlight look. Bobitoni says. Not to hijack the above comment, but you will need an experienced lawyer with a forensic and tax team. Do not just go to a family lawyer without experience in these areas. Ask these questions when you interview the attorney and get the credentials, at minimum, of his team. Interview them all together, if possible. Retired attorney here. Curl 37 says. Go to a divorce attorney on your own. Going to an attorney and sharing this information will not harm your husband or you. You'll have someone that you can divulge information to in a confidential setting and get good advice regarding your specific circumstances. One option that may be available down the line is for your attorneys to negotiate a divorce settlement in which you both agree on distribution of assets and then just have the settlement submitted to and signed by the judge. Only your attorney and not your husband will be able to advise you of what is in your best interest. I would suggest that you do not have any conversations with your husband about this until you meet with your attorney because it sounds like your husband is being dishonest. I'd speak with your attorney about how you can protect your own assets even if you don't get divorced because it sounds like there is a possibility they may be at risk even if you don't get divorced. Also, you should avoid participating in dealings that appear unusual or suspicious. Dad Wilsu says. If he won't divulge details of the sale, why would you sign? That's a major red flag. r/legal advice. Psalm 91 left curly bracket frick Shadowban says. I got assaulted, and police came after my 911 call and implied that I made a false allegation. So this happened last night, feeling really helpless. I live in a shared housing, and the perpetrator from the basement assaulted me. I will add some context first. There is a pie show with criminal record whose room is right below my room in the basement. Within the first or second week I moved into this place, he started harassing me saying I was making excessive noise intentionally, like dancing or jumping. It was completely baseless. It seemed like he was trying to elicit me into fighting. Then on one morning he knocked my room and tried to get into fight. I closed my door and then started banging my door. I called the landlord and asked him to talk to him or I'll call the police. The landlord assured he'll talk to him and asked me not to call the police. Then it was okayish. But he still occasionally hits the ceiling with something from his room to annoy me. But 2 weeks back, I got SMS from an unknown number with a cleaning schedule from the landlord. When I replied asking who is this, got reply saying in coward, I don't have balls, since I didn't open the door when they knocked my door. Fortunately I wasn't home at that time. I replied that he was scared to even say his name. Then he asked me to come out and he will frick me up, went on to saying that I would go home anyway. Then I again called the landlord about this threat and he said he'll handle this. So nothing happened for the next 2 weeks. Fast forward to last night. This guy was mopping the floor in the basement and I went to the laundry at the basement to check my clothes. As I passed him and went to the laundry, followed and charged me asking why didn't I wait till the floor got dried completely. He then demanded me to mop it. I wasn't looking for to get involved with him, so I tried leaving the basement. When I was at the stair, he hit me at the back of my head. I was utterly shocked. He continued hitting me. He was aggressive. Nothing like a sane person would do. I went back to my room to grab the phone to call 911. He followed me. So I tried to close the door and he blocked me and started hitting me again. Then I came out and followed him to the basement to make sure he didn't leave the scene before I make the call to 911. He tried to elicit me to hit him by saying again that I don't have balls, and when I replied, started hitting me with the mop again. I then went to defend myself and stop him hitting me with the mop. He then started punching me in the face. When I struggling with him, he grabbed my shirt and did the same. We let go each other and we both went to the ground and he left the house when he saw me calling with the operator. I need to mention at the time when we're grabbing each other's collar, the only person who was there at the basement came out of her room. So I told her she saw what happened. He then threatened her to get back to her room and she went in. When the operator picked up my 911 call as we both were the ground floor, I told her what happened and she said this was sending the paramedics and the police to my location. He left the house as soon as he saw I was talking. Then I went outside and waited for the paramedics and they came after 15 minutes or something and checked me. They also said everything looked fine and if I wanted to go to the hospital. But I said no and stayed home and waited for the police to arrive. After 15 to 20 minutes, 2 police officers came. The officer who started talking to me by confirming if I called or not. He then proceeded to say that they received a third party called and warned me that they were recording and I shouldn't be lying to them. Then they will arrest me for perjury. I was already in shock, and when he started with really uncooperative tone, I still proceeded to tell him what happened. But whatever I said he casted his doubt, as if I was the perpetrator instead of being the victim. When I said him, he hit me the mop 7 to 8 times. He was in disbelief and said why didn't I any visible injuries with that many hits and punches. The mop didn't cause any visible injuries because he used the bottom part which had the stings that softened the hit. This guy is a seasoned criminal, so he called back his 3 buddies to the house during that time when he went outside. The woman is the GF of his friend and all 5 from same country and same place. So when the police went talk to his other friends including the women that saw this happened, they all lied. Probably said I hit him. I'm well aware that I not to hit him back. So I didn't even hit him when he was punching me except for preventing him when he grabbed my collar. So everyone shined the same song. Said I have issues with everyone, I don't do cleanings and blah blah. After talking to others, the officer came back to me, took me inside, and where is the mop? I showed it. Then he took me outside and called the perpetrator. The officer started blaming me. I don't get along with others. Others said I don't do the cleaning. And eventually he said the woman denied what I said, she didn't see anything. Then he asked me what do I want to do. So I asked what are my options, which didn't clearly answer. He said he is cautioning us both and said to both that we should avoid each other. He then advised me to find a new place and left. After that, I wasn't even sure he even came here based my report of my assault. It felt like they called him and he was there to deal with me. I know this is a lot to read, but can anyone advise what am I even supposed? The dude says, you can pursue this further. You see your landlord in the messages you sent to him to verify that he has been harassing you. Amelita lol says, you might find additional advice on specific actions to take on r/legal advice Canada. Best of luck to you, friend. Please put your safety first. Tokashin says, move. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.